Ooh, Teffy Wonder, we back.
What's up? What's up?
We are finally back.
Um,
What it do, y'all? It's your boy King Curt live, and we are here for another season 2 of that good old Targussy. Are you excited, Teffy Wonder?
absolutely. What's not to be excited about?
Well, let's. I guess Sunday we had a little recap.
Yeah.
We had a chance to kind of give first reactions to the season premiere. We wanted to give people some time, though, right?
Yeah. I've watched two separate breakdown videos for this first episode. So,
Mm,
like, my excitement for it has not waned. As y'all can see, though, I have washed my hair in the meantime and restyled
listen,
it.
I'm waiting on my white wig to come so that I can be full time. Listen, I'm going full Targaryen this season. I figure I'll show the progression. I'll be the bald nigga in the beginning, and by the end of it, my white wigs is just gonna get more and more elaborate.
I think by like the mid season finale, I'll have my wig and maybe my crown and stuff.
Okay, all right. Listen. We're gonna progress into the Targaryenism.
Yeah.
We'll be little baby Targaryens. Carolyn says she loves this network, and we love you, baby. Thank you, boo, for pulling up. Don't snatch the wig off. Oh no, man. I threw that last motherfucker. I was too done. Them wigs is hot. I know them actors got to be cooking under that motherfucker.
Listen, it'd be it'd be a lot. Like that first year we went to BlurredCon and I was like full done up cosplay, like head to toe, cape and long sleeves and long pants. I said I'll never do that shit.
Yeah, ain't nobody got time for that shit at all. But with that being said, Game of Thrones spin-off series House of the Dragon premiered season 2 this past Sunday after one of the most amazing season finales that saw Rhaenyra's son swallowed up.
I hate you.
He was swallowed. It was a swallowing.
I hate it. I hate it so much.
And unfortunately, that young prince is now fish food. This is the aftermath. So this is, and Teffy saved y'all ass because I was trying to do this on Monday, but I want to give y'all official spoiler alert. We talking about the shit.
Yeah. And I did touch up on some of the book stuff as well. So week to week, I'll be able to give you like direct comparisons to how they changed, what they changed for the show, and like if you guys want like full spoilers, like we got a couple interesting ones this episode that I'm excited to get into.
Well, listen, I'm not gonna hold it off. I'm gonna let the queen do a thing. First and foremost, Teffy Wonder, please introduce yourself.
What's up, guys? This is at Teffy Wonder here, your wonderful melanated mocha-fied merjoin, trying to stay hydrated in this heat, because my God.
Yo, this heat wave came up on us like a dragon breathing fire.
I was like, wasn't it just 60 fucking degrees, bro?
Yo, I came downstairs yesterday. I was like, I gotta put the air on.
My baby's sitting out in the living room. I said, bro, how are you sitting in this heat? I had to swap the fans out. I said, let me get the fan on. I turned the air on in my room to the air on in his room. Because I was like, good googly moogly.
Now, you know when a nigga say good googly moogly is hot.
It was. I started to cook and I said, no, I'm just going to microwave something because I don't want to make it warmer in here.
If you add the moogly 9 times out of 10. Faye J, thank you so much for the stars. We appreciate you, and the network appreciates your support. And also Asia definitely gave stars on the last episode. So just a little bit of housekeeping. Targussy Tuesdays will be at 9:30 to give room for Tubi Tuesday to do his thing. So 9:30, tune in to us. But that means y'all gotta watch this shit by the time we come on, because we want y'all to hop on, and so y'all gotta be on it. Sunday it premieres at 9. We give you all a Monday, and we give you late into Tuesday.
Yeah.
This is only as fun as all of us geeking out over this.
Listen, and these first couple of episodes ain't finna be more than like an hour. So listen, use your lunch breaks. Some of y'all catching the bus home, pop that episode on your transit, so you can watch the episode and be ready to get
Yo,
to the shit with us.
and definitely share it to your respective pages. Other Game of Thrones fans, we're gonna find some Game of Thrones advocates that'll let us stream in there, so we kind of build the community because Targussy was actually a passion of love of me, and we just love. I don't think we started at the beginning of the season. I think
No,
we just
because we was joking about it. It
and then we
started
was like, yo, we need to be doing a show about this.
yeah, and then niggas was like, nah, y'all gotta get on.
Yeah. So, and we're gonna have some amazing guests throughout this season. Me and Teffy wanted to anchor this show, but absolutely, we're gonna be bringing other people that are a part of the network and cousins of the UNAB, of the Unicorn Street No Chaser podcast, and some of you the fans. We're gonna have opportunities where it's not just gonna be me and Teff this time.
Yeah.
And we're looking forward to y'all coming on and really getting into this fandom, because man, these YouTube videos, when they break down these different houses, the lore of it's amazing that it came from out of the mind of one man, but it's so vast. The history, it's almost like this shit really happened in real life.
Yeah.
So that's what we getting into tonight. We're going to talk about the premiere. If you want to go back, you could check out the first reacts every Sunday, half an hour after Game of Thrones airs, which is usually it starts at 9. We give from 9 to 10, 10:30. We're going to give our quick reacts. Just holy shit, this is what happened. And then me and Teffy Wonder on Tuesdays at 9:30 are going to go in depth and give you a little bit of Easter eggs, a little taste of the Twitterverse and what they saying in these streets, and a little bit of this and a little bit of that. So let's get right into it. Game of Thrones opens up in the most epic of ways with pussy eating. Mm-hmm. She was definitely getting that box ate.
That is not how.
I'm just saying, that's what I remember first. Any motherfucker that make your eyes do, anybody that make your eyes do this, Sir Kristen Cole is doing his thing. Teffy Wonder, you ever have motherfucker make your eyes roll to the back of your head like that?
That's a Wednesday night talk.
You know
That's
what?
a Wednesday night
You are
conversation.
absolutely right, and I apologize. We will save it for later. Mm.
Listen, dude.
But what I love is the memes that come out of this. Let's go through the memes first. Happy Pride Month to this absolute legend riding off to Pintos to be gay as fuck. Yo, he definitely bounced. It was like, I'm not marrying into none of this shit. I'm gonna go enjoy Pride Month and go to all the balls in Westeros. Hey, y'all can keep this fuck shit that y'all got going on over here. Princess is dying out here. Me trying to fight the guy as soon as he kicked that poor dog in Game of Thrones. I mean, House of the Dragon. We talked about that. It was no reason to pick that. You don't kick that poor dog.
Yo.
That dog led you to exactly where you were supposed to go. Rhaenyra, I want Aemon Targaryen. Daemon is a G.
That's his work. Somebody said that's his homicide hoodie.
Is that what it is? A homicide hoodie?
I called it the war crimes cloak because you know that nigga finna put in work. He put that joint on.
Once that cloak go on, he gonna have money in his pocket and a knife in his hand.
Exactly.
Faye J said, "Can we talk about how unsanitary that was for that time?"
Listen.
Oh, I hope not eating pussy. Eating pussy is unsanitary. In medieval times,
niggas only used to bathe like once a month, once a week, maybe if you had money.
Oh no. See,
Yes.
I need you to wash your ass. Yeah. Now, so we kind of had that feeling once she lost her son. We was like, whatever she do next. How you say it, Teffy? You're here for all her rights and all her.
For women's rights and women's motherfucking wrongs, okay?
And it took forever for us to get season 2.
Listen, writer strike and all.
Um, the memes. If you're not up on Twitter, it, so what the green queen name? What the name is?
Allison,
Allison.
you never know her name, bro.
Because I don't get because I don't worry about bitches' names that I don't like. Talk to me, Teffy. Is there anything redeemable about this woman? Like, would anybody even be on the high towers?
I mean, technically, I guess you could.
Why? Why would you be team them?
Because you like to be wrong.
So all Caucasian people are team high tower. Got it. Understood. Understood. I love this parody in parallel to Game of Thrones because this is when Daenerys lost her shit and was like, "Oh, Queen of the Dragons, I'm gonna burn it all down."
Yeah.
Do you feel like this is gonna be Rhaenyra's parallel moment where now it's just about scorched earth?
No, because what I will say is Rhaenyra she don't have that madness. And I feel like Dany had madness. And whereas Daenerys was like literally started from the bottom, now we here, like on the run, her whole life, sold into marriage to Khal Drogo.
She was a little slave for a minute.
Right. Like Rhaenyra actually like came from something, and like she had somebody to raise her up to be a queen, while Daenerys was like, it was on the job training for her the whole time, her whole life. So Daenerys was just like, I'm not taking this shit no more. And Rhaenyra is like more measured, and even in her grief, she's trying to still do the right
thing. Very poignant points, and I agree. Daemon though, Daemon hit different.
It's the madness.
I think Daemon got a little touch of that thing. He a little crazy.
Also, remember, like before Rhaenyra, even like while Rhaenyra was there, remember Daemon was the favorite. He was the people's champ. Yeah. Everybody loved him. And if Viserys didn't sire a son, then before he named Rhaenyra his heir, which again Daemon took as a slight to him at one time, that it was said that Daemon was going to be king, whether they thought he was fit to rule or not.
Right, and he was he was the captain of the guard, right?
Right. So again, so Daemon's it's kind of like him just being like, well, I'm entitled to this. I should have always this should have always been mine. And part of me just feels like he's just doing it so that he can get back on the throne.
I hate the fact that we root for this ancestral relationship, but I'm here for it. I love them together. I love the vibe. I love the lioness vibes. It reminds me. It reminds me of how Cersei and Jaime was.
Yeah.
And only
we hated them.
Right. We hate it. No. But that's what I'm saying, Teff. Like it's the opposite parallel. We hated Cersei and Jaime, and it's like Game of Thrones is like still incest, but you love them.
They was like, but wait. Let us cook.
Let me ease you into this Alabama lifestyle.
Right.
Speaking of Alabama lifestyles, it seems as though everybody is supporting Rhaenyra's claim to the throne, which is still not necessarily in question, but there are those that they are vying to honor the oath, and others who are renouncing the oath because they do not want a woman to sit on the throne. Patriarchy at its best.
Facts.
We see Rhaenyra has sons are still out and about. They even open up with a scene with them at the wall.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, I love this. I don't care what it is. The Starks absolutely are my favorite family of Game of Thrones, but I most identify with the Lannisters, sadly, because I ain't shit. Um, I don't fuck my family though. So
Technically, only Cersei and Jamie were like that. Like the Lannister
I
family
don't
line.
believe that. I don't believe that. I believe they all was fucking each other. That
Like,
shit didn't just start with them. It didn't just start with them.
anyway.
Lamont said it better. Yeah, Lamont. They touched heads and got active. Soon as he said, "Did you find what you needed?" She said, "I sure did." He said, "Say less." Teffy Wonder, tell me something good. What do we need to know, and what are some tidbits that we can munch on?
Oh my goodness. So tidbits like from the story, or y'all want to get into like book stuff?
Oh, I'll put it like this: let's go book, and then let's go series.
Okay. So so before we get to the blood and cheese part, which we'll do. So what I did find out for you guys that was really really fun. That scene that Corlys had where he goes out to the ship and he's talking to Alan of Hull. So in the book, it's heavily implied that Alan of Hull and his brother are the bastards of Corlys Valerian. And that when they're going to, in the coming episodes, they're going to look for dragon seeds, so other people who can ride the dragons. And the reason I bring up them being bastards is that the Targaryens always kind of made it known that only people of their royal blood can ride the dragons because it was too dangerous and common people wouldn't get it, yada yada yada. So Alan and his brother Adam of Hull, being they have silver, like darker silver hair, but it's still, you know. The guy Mushroom says that they're Laenor's bastard children, but it's really heavily implied that the two of them are Corlys's children.
Them that Corliss boys.
Yeah. Yeah. So they make them the ball is bald here in the show, but in the book he has like a dark silver hair.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So
Well,
when
that
they're going to tap these dragon seeds, now they got to go after their bastards to get these people to ride the dragons. Same with the what the fuck, the scene in the throne room with
this.
Aegon.
So
And
this is how they have him depicted, kind of like a book depiction of him. Oh shit.
let me
Sorry,
see.
Tef. But go
No,
ahead.
it's fine. But I'm saying, so back in the throne room where they're hearing the petitions, the guy who comes up, Henry the Hammer or whatever the fuck his name is, Hugh, that's his name. So Hugh the Hammer, if you catch it when he turns around, he's got like blonde roots on white hair that's tied back into a bun, and it said that I don't think he's Viserys's bastard, but he's supposed to be like a royal bastard as well.
These snows be out here. These snows be out here.
So
So how many bastards is floating about in this?
it's a lot of them, because if you remember, if you go back to season 1, Aegon had like 6 or 7 of them, like in the child fighting pits.
In the, I forgot about that. Yeah, go ahead, boy. Go ahead, whip that air.
Yeah. So no, Lamont, they're not. I get where you see they might have come off as lovers, but it's a different kind of intimate relationship. And now that Laenor is dead, like it could be Corlys sort of like extending an olive branch to a son he could have never had. He could have never like raised, because they say that like they ship them their mom was like a tavern wench or whatever, and she says that they were Laenor's bastards, but on the show they're clearly too old to be Laenor's children, and we knew, and in the show they established that Laenor couldn't get it up for a woman, that he
Oh
couldn't
yeah.
maintain erection for a woman. So those are clearly my boys, the sea snakes progeny.
So essentially, the sea snake is going to play an integral role
Yeah,
in the
so
coming season.
Alan and them come back because I believe they get picked to be dragon seeds, and they get to ride some of the, because you one thing that they don't touch on, which I hate, is that Damon goes out to court the other dragons to like look for them, and like he goes and he finds like that big old dragon, and then they don't fucking bring it back up again. Which I know
Right.
that still, but like nobody fucking says anything. But you need people who can ride the dragons. People love royal blood, so it's finna get interesting fast.
So essentially, throughout this entire series, this episode is blood and cheese, right?
Yeah, so the episode's called "The Sun for a Son," but it is the Blood and Cheese, which is the name of the chapter where the Blood and Cheese event takes place.
Mm-hmm.
So, Blood and Cheese are the big guy and the little guy. Somebody on another review says, "Oh, they're not named," and I was like, "You didn't watch it with your subtitles on because they fucking are named."
Got you. Because it absolutely says blood and cheese.
Yeah, it says that their names are Blood and Cheese. So, in the book, Damon actually, that doesn't happen the way that it happens. So what happens is Damon, through a network of spies, or like sends a raven he uses Missandria, or whatever the fucking name is, the White Worm. So he does use her to contact Blood and Cheese, and in the book, he tells them to kill Helena and Aegon have two sons. They have Jaehaerys, who is the twin to Jaehaera. They also have another son named Maelor. So in the book, he does tell Blood and Cheese to kill one of the sons.
Mm-hmm.
Alicent is there in that scene. They bind and gag her, and she just have to watch. And what happens is Helena pleads for them. She's like, "Kill me, take me instead." And they're like, "No, a son for a son."
So in the book, Allison and the mother actually watched this happen.
Yeah, so Alicent and Helena are there, and they tell Helena that if she doesn't choose, they're going to rape Jaehaera, who is like 6, who's like 4 or 6.
Faye J stupid. She said blood and cheese are the two nights from Home Alone in reverse.
They really the fuck are though.
They're the wet bandits, not the sticky bandits.
Are the sticky bandits. So yeah, so he tells Helena that if they don't do it, they're gonna rape Jaehaera and then murder everybody in the room. So she has a terrible choice to make. She points out Maelor, supposedly because he's the littlest one, and he's not next in line for the throne anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So Cheese says to Maelor, "You see that little boy? Your mother wants you dead." And then he looks at Blood, and Blood in one fell swoop cuts off Jaehaerys' head. So it's not like how they do it in the show.
Yeah, because that was gruesome.
Like that would have been way more traumatic to see Helena pleading, crying, Alicent like bent, tied up,
yeah,
and then be like, "Your mother wants you dead" to a 2-year-old. Wild as the fuck.
Ooh, cha.
So not to spoil it for next week, but we do see one of those two characters again. They don't both get away.
I was about to say, because my thing was, I was like, how the fuck they getting out of this castle?
So they don't both get away. One of them does, one of them doesn't. We should see the fallout of that next week.
Ooh, Teffy, you got my giblets all moist.
Yeah. But like I said, in the book, Damon is already at Harrenhal, and he sends like a raven, and it's terrible because he does say kill one of the little babies. But in the book, in the show, they make him much more directly involved. And he gives the choice. He says the first choice is to kill Aemond, And then they cut away for the secondary instructions. And to Blood and Cheese's credit, they go to Eamon's room. That room where he's swiping the coins off the table, that's Eamon's bed chamber where him and Sir Kristen
He should have been there.
just fucking were. Right. Like they should have been there. So it kind of comes off as like a series of unfortunate events in the show, which I like.
Because it's not to me, you going in blind, you don't know where anybody is, you don't have anybody direct you to exactly where Eamon is. Obviously, that's who we want because it should be blood for blood, but
it should be guilty party for guilty party.
But that young boy wasn't guilty.
Right. But it wasn't. And at the end of the day, they was like, what Denzel say, I'm leaving here with something.
Yeah, I'm leaving here with something. I'm from round the way. I'm leaving here with something. Somebody got to go.
Yeah.
That's jumping ahead. There's a couple of things that led up that I thought was interesting. Like I said, one of the things that I love most about this series is how it delves into the Starks and some of the things that happens at the wall. And we see emissaries from Rhaenyra trying to convince the Starks to send a multitude of soldiers to help in the war effort. Well, that's where we get Easter eggs that lead toward what happened in Game of Thrones, where they say, you don't think my ancestors built this 700-foot wall just to keep out wildlings? Like, no, we got to sit tight right here in case shit jump off.
Right. And, like, bitch, I'm not just saying. Also, what they don't necessarily like touch on in the show is that Cregan Stark just got off of like a uprising because his uncle would not. Cregan Stark is the rightful heir to House Stark, and his uncle, though, his dad dies when Cregan is small, so his uncle rules in his stead until Cregan comes of age. When Cregan comes of age, his uncle does not fucking give up the throne. He's like, nah, fuck what you heard. I'm not leaving. So Cregan has to like usurp his own fucking throne and throws his uncle and his nephews in the fucking dungeons and shit. So like he just got done fighting other niggas.
He said, look, I just got done putting in work.
Exactly.
And now y'all come and talk about more war.
Nigga, I gotta get my house in order.
Yo, and House Stark is one of the strongest houses because, yes, due to isolation being in Winterfell, but also the simple fact is they do abide by the code.
Yeah.
If they give an oath, those Starks stand by their oath.
Yeah.
But they don't try to get into the petty squabbles over at King's Landing. I'm just saying, like, we know what the end result is. This is the downfall of the Targaryens. Once the Targaryens ruled for over 300 years, and once it fell, then we saw House Baratheon. When Game of Thrones started, we see House Baratheon sitting on the throne, and then, of course, the Lannisters got up in there and did what they did.
They also make it a point in the book to say that, like, yeah, Cregan Stark is like, sure, I'll send you like 1,000 or 2,000 men or whatever. But he was like, by the time they got them niggas together and actually marched down there, they figured the conflict would largely be over, so they wouldn't even have to fucking do anything.
Right. And he said, what, 2,000 graybeards, right?
Yeah.
So he's sending his seasoned warriors who's probably tired of being up on this cold ass
niggas who already got sons to replace them.
Yeah, and that's the other important thing. He's not sending young men to die. I really loved what's the name? Cregan. I like Cregan because it shows wisdom. He for a young ruler, he showed a lot of wisdom.
Yeah.
Because a lot of times you see these young kings in this series and they about as dumb as a bag of doorknobs.
Yeah.
So Go ahead, Teffy. What'd you say?
No, I was gonna say it's a lot. Also, in the book, Mushroom kind of like makes this rumor that there's a Sarah Snow that Jacaerys falls in love with, and that they have a baby. And he also says that his male dragon lays a clutch of eggs, which is bullshit. So,
oh Lord,
yeah.
And this goes to what I'm talking about. We also get to see Aegon. I'm saying his name right? I'll be fucking these names up. Y'all know I do.
Listen, it don't help that half of them sound the fucking same.
Aemon, Aegon, Agar, Agagar, Aggregate, Algae, Agamemnon, Adobo. I'm tired of this shit. But
there's a nigga on Rhaenyra's council called Baltagar Cultigan.
say it again.
Baltagar Caraltigan, some shit like. It's the most ridiculous fucking name you've ever fucking heard.
I'm not dealing with that negativity. I'm not dealing with that negativity.
It's fun though. It's fun to say.
Yeah, I hear you. What I loved is Aemon's sister in the beginning of the episode pulls up on her dragon. She's been guarding the shoreline as best
That's
she
not
can.
his sister.
It was his sister-in-law?
His so they're cousins.
Oh, cousins?
Yeah, they're cousins.
He'll fuck her too, I'm sure.
Technically it's his ex-mother-in-law. His cousin mother-in-law.
Oh yeah. But I love that scene where he's like, come back out and ride with me. And she's like, look, bro, my dragon need to gorge. I need to gorge. I need some rest. And he like, look, the queen's been missing. While the mother grieves.
Yo, he makes it sound like she's been gone for a month. It's been 10 days from this episode from the last episode.
Oh, really? It's not even been that long.
10 fucking days. She ain't been gone a fortnight and he tripping. He's not full wrong, but also like, nigga.
Like, relax.
Right. You only lost one child. Like,
wait a minute. A fortnight is 40 days, right?
It's 2 weeks.
I thought a fortnight was 40 days.
It's 2 weeks. Google it.
You know I was. you know I was. Hold on. Is it only 2 weeks?
Yeah. Gina said the Targaryen family tree is like doing trigonometry.
I not that I didn't believe you, but you're right. It's 14 days.
Yeah.
So a fortnight. You're right. It's less than 10 days for grief. For grief with nobody.
For grief with nobody.
And he basically says, "Hey, it's an order," and she makes sure to let him know. If only you were the king, it wouldn't matter.
Right.
I'm gonna go eat
and shower.
And she sashayed the fuck off. Like, get the fuck.
I love Rhaenys. I think second to Rhaenyra, Rhaenys is probably my favorite character on the show. Because like she doesn't just have compassion, but she also shows great wisdom. Like, and while I kind of disagree that she didn't like kill everybody at the coronation, like she gave them the chance to do right without initially starting war. Like,
I hate to say this. Nah, she should have burned them niggas to
it wasn't her fight to do.
Yeah, you see, even that dragon that just went by. that dragon was like, no. Yeah. Had she had done it, House Targaryen could have stood. Think about that.
They're all House Targaryen niggas.
Yeah, no, not them niggas. We don't know them niggas.
They last name Targaryen too, bro.
So not to hop around, but that goes back to what the twin said. He said, we are here to protect the whole of the royal family. And what do we do when the royal family fights each other?
Right.
Niggas renounced they renounced their oath as the Kingsguard and
Eric and Ark are identical twins who sign up for the Kingsguard on their 18th name day, and was like you talk about two niggas who've probably done everything together their whole life and then immediately have to turn on each other, and that's like such a wild position to have to put motherfuckers in.
I love it because it adds so much meat to these storylines. It's not like Game of Thrones need any more storylines. When I say there are so many layered storylines, individuals, you could not, for a book, a very meaty book, great, because you could follow these paths all the way, all across the mulberry bush, but you only got 60 minutes in a show.
Yeah.
There's only been so much you can show.
Actually, because between the fucking commercials that they play on the beginning and end.
So, all right, let's fast forward a little bit. Um, the king is trying to be a better father to his son than his father was to him.
Yeah,
We
even
see
though he's a complete goofball.
complete goofball.
Yeah.
Um, but all that incest, I'm sure they got a little touch of something.
He's not incest though.
I don't believe
Hey,
that white hair is ancestral. I don't care that somebody is fucking they auntie's grandmom's cousin.
it's like heterochromia. You like
Yo,
your
I,
cousins was fucking.
yeah. If everybody in your family got green eyes, that gene ain't hop to everybody. You out here diddling, you doing the Alabama tango. I don't care what nobody say. I'm just saying. But he out here, he done fathered his children. His wife, who has literally been the MVP of House of Dragon by calling everything.
Yo.
So,
Yeah.
Teffy, real quick, I'm gonna step off, but can you please break down how this woman has literally warned these people every step of the way since season 1?
So, shout out to Helena. In the show, in the book, they don't make this up. They don't make this point in the book, but on the show, they've made her like a dreamer or a green seer, which is something that Targaryens have a trait that they've had previously. Famously, Daenerys, the dreamer, is the one who saw the destruction of old Valyria, which is what made them leave Valyria in the first place. In the book, she's not like that, but in the show, they've given her like a touch of the tism and like that, like dreamy, like she's out of it, like foresight in a way. Which is cool. I like that. It lends more like depth and interest to her character, where she may not have had any. Like I don't think she maybe had as much in the book. And going back to like the first season, when they talked about Aemon getting his dragon, she was like, "A nigga's gonna have to close an eye." She's screaming about the beast under the boards, the beast under the boards, and then fucking Rhaenys and Melis come up through the ground, and I think she said something too about like the storm or whatever, and they just be like, "Oh, Helena, you're so weird." You're so weird, babe. And I hate it. Even in this episode, where she's like, I'm afraid of them. They're like, the dragons, you don't have to be afraid of the dragons. And she's like, the rats, bro. And they're like, there you go, doing that weird girl thing again. It's like, bro, she's not just being weird. She is trying to fucking tell y'all. And I don't know. Somebody else said like, "Oh, well, maybe they'll pay attention to her." I don't think they will. I think she's just gonna like be there in the background, like vote like stimming, minding her business, and they just gonna be like, "Poor pudding."
Well, that's the part that kind of overcooks my grits with this one, because if they would just listen. Now, mind you, she is talking in like a code, if you will. So it's not like, hey, nigga, watch out.
Yeah. So, but it's like dream. If you've ever had like dreams interpreted, like it's like that. Like things aren't clear, and then also she seems out of it. And I say like a touch of the tism, but it's like when you're dreaming, you don't know what's real. You don't know if you're awake or if you're actually asleep. So I think she kind of lives in like this sort of like half awake state. So she doesn't know if what's happening is something that she dreamed or if she's actually up and that it's happening to her. And I think that informs the way her character behaves, especially during the blood and cheese scene, because people are like, she didn't do anything. This bitch was probably like fucking like, oh, is this for real this time?
Yeah.
Is this for real? Is this really happening? Holy shit! What do I like? Shit.
I didn't even think about that. Yeah, when you're, I mean, I akin it to Bran. Remember before he was the 3-eyed raven?
Yeah.
He would go back and forth, and he would be like, Bran would just sit there in a dream state.
So that wasn't until like much later, like in his character. But yeah, like he would be like, he'd be warged out into like his dire wolf and just gone.
Right.
Pieced the fuck out. And then when he actually became the Three-Eyed Raven, it was worse because then he was aloof and like fucking like really talking in riddles. It was crazy. So yeah, I think Helena is just like she's like, I don't know what's happening, and nobody is listening, which is crazy.
But again, we only know because we, the audience, are privy to the information.
Yeah.
And honestly, if anybody else was talking about the rats and the floorboards and we look down and don't see shit, we'd be like, oh yeah, she got that. She got that, her daddy is a uncle, brother, cousin. I heard. That's what I heard. Yep.
It's not though.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So many great scenes. Sir Kristen Cole is beating the brakes off of, huh?
Fuck that nigga.
Listen, he's staying some royal pussy.
Listen, I hate the way that you walk, the way that you talk. I hate the way the way that you speak this. When I catch a fight, it's gonna be direct.
Listen,
I hate this nigga so bad.
Sir Kristen Cole, the way he said, it's not her fault. Rhaenys got her. Rhaenyra got her hooks in her early.
Corrected her. First of all, how about a bitch nigga who was like, "Oh, I broke my oath for you." Remember that nigga was ready to fall on his fucking sword last season.
Well, not now, because she riding that sword to all the way to the seventh heaven.
No, him and Alicent bonded over righteousness and their righteous hate of Rhaenyra, and now they fucking making the beast with two backs and shit. Where's your fucking smug righteous bullshit now, bitch?
Listen, let me tell you something.
And
I promise you,
Alicent finna marry
I promise you, Jesus don't make this face. that right there ain't nothing but from the pits of hell. That ain't nothing but the devil. That's that devil tongue. That one good eye is fluttered. I know that tongue. I know. Look, I've been. I know. When you eat it from the front like that, you ain't got time to lay it down. You need to pull that skirt down in case somebody come. Preferably the queen.
No, but so one thing that somebody else pointed out was like how he always pretends to be. He's such a fucking nice guy. He's like that perfect nice guy trope where he always lays his cape down because his cape is a symbol of his status. So, but he always lays his cape out so that when people see him, his cape not wrinkled or dirtied or anything like that. But he'll throw his fucking armor on the ground. Like he get down and be dirty, and he just wants you to think he's not a fucking piece of shit. He's a total fucking piece of shit. And I hate.
He's the nice guy. You know how you say you got to watch out for nice guys? That's him.
Literally, fuck him.
Yeah, he irks me. Everything about him irks me, and he's one of those characters that I hope he meets a fitting end.
Oh, I can't. He better die. They made that squelchy ass noise killing that baby. This nigga better die.
I'm just saying. She said, "Isn't this how y'all came up with Targussy?" Probably. Because he was in that. He was in them guts.
Oh, listen. He was in that thing. They said that he was like Rhaenyra took his virginity. Nigga, you wasn't protesting. You gave it up. Like you are.
Now, who's Alicent snitch? The one that liked the feet.
Oh, Larys. Larys, the club.
That's another one. I do not like him.
You're not supposed to, which is great because he's doing what he's supposed to do. He is like our Littlefinger character this season, and like since he feels Alicent pulling away with
Kristen Cole.
Yeah, so now he get up in Aegon's ear, and he's like, "Isn't it weird how your grandsire has been hand to 3 kings? Wouldn't you want to, like, I don't know, be different?" Yeah, your dad had such a reputation for being like pliable. That'd be wild.
But you see here where they talk about him being the master of whispers, and he's now maneuvered himself. He's maneuvered Alicent's confidant and the
Yeah.
staff, and basically had them offed. He said they
Yeah.
don't breathe the same air as us anymore, and I
Yeah.
replaced them with a staff of my choosing. But when you're the master of whispers, them some snitching ass niggas.
Yeah. Also, he in the book he is on the small council,
Mm.
so he. It's really weird that they don't have him there on the show.
I love Hannibal came in and said, "Hold on, let me tell you about this scene." So we absolutely see him putting himself in a position to have a more important role. But even then, Allison still already knows not to trust this individual. Here's a scene where she dismisses the whole of the staff because she doesn't feel comfortable with them being around her. These are his, you can't trust somebody who deals in secrets and is conniving and have them close. It's hard to have a snake close to your chest and not be afraid of getting bit. It just is what it is.
Yeah,
And
she.
and and Otto about to get his ass bit behind having that snake that close.
I will say I like the scene between them where they like. You can see that where they send their spies out and their spies like bump into each other, but they're trying not to be like.
Uh-huh.
it's such bullshit because like Otto is playing a game. He's playing it against his children and his grandchildren
Yeah.
when they should
Because
all be
I
playing.
think he ultimately wants to sit the throne.
I don't. I disagree.
You think he's content with being a hand?
I think it's been the hand 3 times. If anybody was going to be on the throne already, he'd have been done that.
I don't know, man. Or he's almost been close 3 times and he's like, this is the best chance I got.
I don't think so. Like I
I don't
said Sunday,
I don't like no look, Teff, I'm gonna keep it not to interrupt you, but I don't like no nigga named Otto. Your parents made poor choices.
Wow.
So you
Wow.
make poor choices.
Like I said Sunday,
It's my
people
scene.
in positions of power know that like the real power is behind the throne. I like he makes all the important decisions. He don't get none of the blame for when the shit gets fucked up.
I got you. So he kind of can rule without the. He's like, okay, so he's like Tywin Lannister. Tywin never. He said no man that says I'm the king is nobody needs to say. A real king doesn't need to say it.
Yeah. So
now, how about this for a very poignant scene? Rhaenyra,
oh.
she basically finds what remains that she could, but I was confused about this. What was when she lit the candle, she was doing it because that's what they used to do as kids.
So Alicent is also like really religious. You remember, like y'all
How?
She follows.
How? You getting your pussy ate from the front.
That's how.
I'm sorry, your Targussy ate from the front.
That's how the religious girls doing it. The hoes get it ate from the back.
That's why I like the hoes.
But yeah, so she is like religious. You remember in the first season, she's the one giving Rhaenyra her lessons about the Seven and their history and bop bop bop. So like I like that they do it because they show that like she does light a candle for everyone in her life has died. She does light a candle for Luke, showing that like I mean it's the bare minimum, but she does show like she's not evil in that way.
I get it. And how about Sir Kristen Cole and one-eyed Targaryen? Yeah.
Them plotting completely separate from everybody else because they
2 fuck niggas.
Listen.
You got one incompetent king, one overbearing grandsire, one hypocritical mother.
Yes.
A crazy ass brother, and a cuck, a homosexual esque commander of the guard. This is just going great.
I hate it, and I hate them both. Even though Aemond he's supposed to be like 16, so it's like he's young, and his grandsire makes that makes that point. Like, it's the caprice of youth. Like, he acted rashly. When, like, I think they're giving Aemon really a bitch. Like, he's a good fighter, but remember, he's a bitch. He didn't mean to kill Lucerys. That was a mistake. That was
Right.
the dragon acting of his own accord because he didn't have fucking control. So he had like this inflated sense of like self and like mastery that he's like
So
everybody brings
he's your typical white man.
basically. Basically.
Thank
He
you.
had something Vagar acted and because everybody's blaming him for it, he's now talked himself up like, yeah, I
I
did
did
that
the
shit.
thing. I did
I'm
kill that
really
nigga.
dangerous. I
Yeah.
killed that nigga. And it's like, bitch, you didn't do a fuck ass thing.
And that's why it kills me when the kid, you're like, well, I want him on my small council. No, two dummies,
Right.
two white haired dummies.
Listen.
Lord in
It's the
heaven. Look,
blind lead to death.
the block and not well. This scene right here. Ooh, baby. The squelching noises of them taking that baby head off.
I almost wish they'd have just cut his head off like they do in the book. Because it would have been
Ooh,
a brutal like visual, but like it would have been better than that fucking noise.
that noise of them sawing his head. And she grabbed that baby girl, was like, come on, baby. But at least turn the child away. You should have backed out. You don't let the child.
She puts her hand over her face to keep her eyes.
Now, you see them eyeballs peeking out the shoulder. She like, they taking that nigga head.
So one thing that New Rockstars pointed out that I thought was really cool is that path that Helena takes to get to her mother's bedchamber is the same path that Rhaenyra has to take in the first season when she gives birth to Joffrey, and Alicent demands that she brings the baby to her so that she can see whether or not it's a bastard, and how it was so like cruel, like torturous and cruel to make a woman who just gave birth, who's still bleeding, who from her afterbirth walk such a long way when you could have easily come to her. It's equally as torturous and upsetting in that scene to watch Helena, who has just been traumatized and is trying to get to her mother for safety, and she has to make this long ass walk carrying now her only child to like her mother's bedchambers.
So there it is. Our quick recap of all things House of Dragon. Baby, let me tell you something. Next episode, there is going to be hell to pay. War is war, but even in most warfare, and whether it be personal battles or battles of church and state, battles of a world scale, the rule typically is no women, no children. Since the very beginning, Otto even warned, for Rhaenyra to take the throne, she has to come for your kids. And now we're seeing the children becoming of age. But go ahead. Go ahead, Teffy.
I was gonna say, but that's like the problem with that is that that's a man's line of thinking because that's what a man would do. He never gave Rhaenyra the option to make a different choice. Rhaenyra loves her family, and even though like her and Alicent like stopped getting like along, she never wanted any animosity between them. And it was like she didn't even get violent until they took away all of her other options. Even at the end of the last season, she was like, no, we're not attacking nobody. Sure, like, let's rally our support and we'll march up there and be like, hey, yo, like, give them the option. She gave them the option to fucking surrender. But because niggas want to go to war, because niggas only ever see one outcome, one way of doing things, because men want to wave their little filthy fucking cocks around and stab things, they fucked it up for everybody else. And I said what the fuck I said.
I have a different viewpoint.
Oh, don't you?
It always is going to devolve into war. It
I'm
was
not
inevitable.
saying there would have never been conflict, but I don't believe it would have been all out. They never gave her an option not to choose all out war.
Well, again, it'd be one thing if this was a part of the series that we didn't know the ending, but this is a prequel. And ultimately, this is the complete destruction and downfall of the House of Targaryen.
Yes.
300 years strong.
Listen, orchestrated by men, by insecure men who didn't want a female queen.
Agreed. 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 I won't take nothing away from that. Also, um, when you have ultimate power, it can corrupt absolutely.
Yes.
Absolute power corrupts absolutely. They thought themselves to be gods because they tamed the most powerful creatures on, I guess, their version of all in Westeros.
Yeah.
And
Not Westeros because the dragons and all of them are from Valyria, but yeah.
yeah, well, I mean, they got them in Westeros.
Yeah.
Like even their ancestors, they all had dragons back there. But when he said, "Did he look west?" He was like, "Ain't nobody got no dragons over here."
That wasn't their reason. They fled from
Right.
Valyria fearing the doom, and they do make this point in the first season that like they think that what sparked the doom of Valyria is what Valyria, the continent of Valyria, was set on 14, like a ring of 14 volcanoes, and they think it was the dark magic and like all the shit that they did with the dragons that actually spurned the doom is what caused it. They actually just fled west because they were like, we're not going to Essos. We're gonna go over here.
But that
They saw, I think, because you saw it in the dream. That's why it's called Dragonstone. It's where they landed.
no, I get it, and they had the dragons forge Dragonstone as a safe haven, but through the generations, the original, I think it was Aegon or whoever the original one was, when he took it, before he took on his sisters as wives, he looked east and said, "There's nothing back there for us."
Yeah.
And then they said in the book and in what I've seen, it says, but when he looked west, he saw prosperity, gold in the ground, and gold in the fields, and no dragons. That's listen, you could be ambitious all you fucking want, but if you don't have those dragons, you don't win. That's why when they first entered Westeros, him and his sisters just rode around and mapped it, and that's where the table comes from. That
Yeah.
table is from them mapping all west. And then
Yeah.
when they got back, they was like, "All right, send out the Ravens, let everybody know we run this shit now. And if you don't bend the knee, we coming back to burn up all your shit." Well, wasn't nobody worried about you if you only came with an army. We'll fight an army. What you gonna do against dragons? Needless to say, this is such a great series, and it's good to me and Teffy, we love to go back and forth about Game of Thrones. Season 2. How many seasons did they say they're going to get out of this? I think they
So
did
it's
3.
already been approved. Season 3 has already been greenlit. I think we're only gonna get season 3, maybe like a shortened season 4.
Right.
Because now we're starting like because after the next episode, or we're going to Harrenhal either in the next episode or the one following. Because Damon in this timeline is already there. He's already made the deal at Harrenhal. They've already bent the knee to Rhaenyra, so they gotta pick up the pace a little bit. Like,
Got you. And that's the thing, because they don't obviously follow everything in the book.
yeah.
And
I feel like what they're doing really well here though, and even what they did in the earlier seasons of Game of Thrones, they did follow like the big story beats, even if some of the like transitional events were a little bit different. So far they've been pretty spot on. I want to say. Also, we're in the back half of the book. I mean, a lot of shit happens, but like we're already halfway through. Um, what is this? The Dance of Dragons. Or
well,
Fire
guess
and Blood is the name of it.
yeah, Fire and Ice, right?
Fire and Blood.
Fire and Blood. What she said?
But I'm saying we're already like halfway through this book, so I don't think we're getting a whole bunch of.
Listen, this is where this is where we at. They killing babies on Father's Day.
Her being left on red is
It's
hysterical.
wild. They didn't answer the Ravens. They left that bitch on red. So, episode 2 this Sunday, 9 o'clock. Join the Targussy team, and if you want to pop on and talk about it with us, feel free. Right after at 10:30, and then of course, me and Teffy will be back on Tuesdays to give you all the Easter eggs after we watch everybody else do the work, and then we just regurgitate it to you. Um, so we out here.
Talk about the opening, how they changed it.
Oh no, I gotta go back and see. How did they change the opening?
So the opening used to be the little blood dials with the lineage, and they changed it to a tapestry. And the tapestry illustrates the entire history
Of the
of the
Targaryens.
Targaryens. Yeah, but they stop right where the last season stopped at Luke being killed by Vagar and Aemon. So I expect that each week they're gonna add to the tapestry a little bit as the story starts to like play out. So yeah,
Like they
so they
did in
go
X-Men 97.
yeah, so like they go through everything from House Targaryen, from Valyria and the dragons to the fall of Valyria to them fleeing to Westeros, all and then everything that happens, all those conflicts. So and yeah, they stop suspiciously. They don't go any well, not suspiciously because we haven't gotten to that part of the story, but they do stop right at Luke's death.
All right. Look, y'all, go back, check out that opening. The intro absolutely tells the story, like Gina said. Uh I, I am already engulfed into how this season is going to play out. We're going to have a dope mid-season review. That'll be episode 4 and the season finale. Carolyn, thank you for the stars. The season finale is going to be lit. It's going to be lit. We're going to try to do a little watch party for the season finale. So for all us Game of Thrones fans, keep it locked. We're going to try to get into a secluded room and watch it all together and talk shit, because who doesn't love this? Who doesn't love this series? Teffy Wonder, can you let everybody know where they can follow and support you?
Yes, definitely follow me over on my TikTok where I'm shenaniganing niggas with my last 2 TikToks have been House of the Dragon related. So follow me at Teffy Wonder over on my TikTok and my Instagram. I also will be live tweeting Sunday nights along with the show. I've decided as long as I don't have to watch, I'm going to be able to watch it on my laptop going forward. So I will be live tweeting. Follow me at Teffy Wonder on Twitter as well. I love y'all, but no more Facebook requests. That's my purse. I don't know you.
Yeah, I'm about to say you wanted to say that. This ain't the regular show.
Oh,
But
no.
catch us tomorrow on Wednesday for our regular the flagship show, Head Nerds in Charge, as we celebrate Juneteenth. To everybody celebrating Juneteenth, big ups to you. Big ups. And to all the black Targaryens with white hair. I don't know how that happened, but you know what? We're here for it. My white wig should be in the mail soon. Outside of that, this your boy King Curt live holding it down with Teffy Wonder. Targussy is back, motherfucker. So pull up every Tuesday as we talk our shit. See y'all next week.
Bye.